and welcome to the latest of my macrame tutorials. This one is to make a small Christmas tree decoration. I'll just go through the materials that I've got today. So I have cut I've got 5mm green single twist cord here. It doesn't matter what cord you use, as long as you have the same number of cords. So I've got 5 now, and then we'll be cutting some more shortly. I have got a star, which is going to be at the top of the Christmas tree. It's just a blank wooden MDF star. You can get them quite easily off Amazon or any other craft retailer. I've got a metal comb. This is a pet comb, which is great because it's got the wide teeth and the narrow teeth for when we do our fringing out at the end. I've got a set of scissors. These are the Fiskars razor scissors, which are great. Quite expensive, but they will last you a lifetime, especially if you have one of these scissor sharpeners. And all you do is just every now and again just pretend you're doing a couple of cuts like that, and it will keep these scissors as sharp as for, well, forever. I've had these for years. I've also got a set of LED lights. Okay, you can see these are optional. You don't have to put them in your design, but you can do if you want to. And personally for me, because it's Christmas as well, I love a set of lights. I'm working on a cork board. You might work on a clipboard. Again, whatever you work on, you just need something to keep your work in place whilst you're pulling the knots. Okay, so grab everything that you need. Get yourself a drink, cup of tea, coffee, glass of wine, glass of sherry maybe, as it's Christmas. And I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so as I said, I have already pre-cut myself some lengths of cord. Now this is 5mm single twist cotton cord. Single twist means that it's just, I think in this one there's 54 different individual fibres, and they're just twisted once, because then it will be nice to brush out at the end. But you can use 3-ply, and if you're not bothered about it being frayed out at the end, you can always use braided. But for the first one, we're going to make our ends meet, work our way to the other end, and we've got that loop. Okay, now because we're doing a Christmas tree, I've got my star that's going to go at the top. So from the front to the back, I'm going to pop my loop through, okay, then open the loop out, grab those 2 cords and pull them through. We have got our star on the top of our tree. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to secure that with a couple of pins, and then we'll have the tension to make our knots. Okay, so I've just pinned my star and my cords to my board, and this is going to be the top part of the tree. So these left and right hand cords going diagonally, these are going to be our holding cords. So they're going to hold the border of our tree together. So I'm going to take another cord, again, make the ends meet. I've got that loop at the end, and I'm going to go under the left hand cord, open that loop out and grab those 2 cords, then pull them all the way through, and then just pull them, shuffle them up. Okay, so that's one increase on the left hand side. I'm going to repeat that again with the second cord. So make the ends meet, go to the other end, under, open the loop out and pull those 2 cords through. All right, so those cords now we have used to increase on the left. Okay, all right, here's our right hand diagonal. We're going to repeat exactly the same on the right hand side. So take another one of your cords, make the ends meet, under, open it out and pull through. Okay, pull that there. And the last cord that we've already got to cut, our 5th one, exactly the same. So under, open that loop out, pull those 2 cords through. And there we go. Okay, so we've got there the top of our Christmas tree. We've still got our left and right diagonals, which are the holding cords for the border. And now we have got 8 cords in the middle. Now, what I would suggest is just run your finger through them because we don't want them to overlap. Okay, if they overlap, then that's when you can get a bit muddled when you're making your knots, and you can see cords where they shouldn't be, and this, that, and the other. All right, so they're all lying. Oh no, that one's not. There we go. Look, see, you have to make sure you really check to make sure that they're lying flat and not overlapping. There we go. So I've got my left and my right diagonal, and now I've got 8 cords on in the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to just move those 2 left-hand cords on those 2 right-hand cords, which leaves me with 4 cords in the middle to make a square knot. Now, if you're not familiar with a square knot, please pop over and see one of my other tutorials which goes through step by step, but as this is kind of like an intermediate project, I'm going to assume that you know how to make a square knot. All right, so I do my L. This is how I do it. So I've got my 2 holding cords in the middle. I make my L, then my right hand cord goes over, under, up and through that L loop. Then I'm just going to pull that so it sits in the middle of these diagonals, the top of my tree. Then I'm going to do it in mirror image and reversed. So if you're familiar with my tutorials, you'll see that that to me is a P. So that's my P loop. And I'm going to go over, under, and then I'm going to go up and through that P loop, and then again pull my working cords evenly, and you want this knot here, there you go, to sit nice and flat. So that is our square knot. It's lying nice and flat. So now we've got our square knot and we've got the border for the top of our tree. Okay, right, check you're there and then I'll move on to the next stage. Okay, this far left-hand cord is now going to become the holding cord for the bottom part of the top of the tree. All right, now I always just keep this held in the same position that I want the row of knots to go. So in this case, we've done the diagonal and we're just going to go, we're going to do the in of the top of the tree. So I'm going to hold this horizontally, and with each cord, we're going to do a half hitch knot. So I'm going to go over, and then I've got this like smile, this big mouth. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my cord through there, pull that, and there we go. This cord is staying exactly the same place, if you can see. Oh, look, see there, one of my cords was going to try and overlap. All right, so it's over, under, through the smile, and then pull it up. And you can just use your fingers to give them a wiggle to make sure that they're all sort of sitting nicely together. Okay, so I've done those for that side. Now this one that's the holding cord at the moment, again, I'm just going to move out the way so it doesn't get in my way and confuse me. And now I'm going to use the right hand one, and we're going to do exactly the same, but as I say, it's mirror image, it's reverse. So hold it horizontally, over, under, through the smile. Again, that's just one of my little rhymes to help you remember. You might be able to think of your own rhyme, or over, under, through the smile. Just helps me remember. Okay, and you can see that this is beginning to show the outline of the top tier of the tree. Okay, there we go. So that looks clear now, doesn't it? It looks like the top triangle, the top part of the tree. And again, if you can wiggle, oh, excuse me, knocking the camera, you can wiggle them around. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make the second part of the tree. So what I'm going to do is, naturally, these two holding cords, one is going over and the other one is going over to the other way, sort of like in a diagonal. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna let them go because it looks neater as you do it. Okay. So the holding cord that was on our right hand is now, oh, don't know what that is going to continue to be the holding cord for the left hand this side. I'm going to start out. Okay, so my holding cord goes over, the working cord goes under, over, under, and through the smile. Okay, so I'm working outwards, inwards. Next one, over, under, through the smile. And what you can see now is it neatens all this up. Then just leave them over that side. Next one, over, under, through the smile. And the next one, over, under, through the smile. Okay, now in a minute we're going to do another increase, but for now I'm just going to leave those there, and we're going to do the other side. All right, so we've done these four on the left. Now I've got my holding cord that's going diagonal for the top right bit. Start on the outside, over, under, through the smile. Now the beauty of following a YouTube tutorial for this is you can stop this, pause it, rewind it, and do it as many times as you need to if you need to. If it's the first time you've used this knot and you're not familiar with it, then you can pause and rewind as much as you want to. Okay, so I've done those four now, and again I'm going to make sure I've got than where I want them to be. So I've got 4 cords on the right, 4 cords on the left, and I've still got my diagonal left and right as well. Right, we're going to do another increase here. So I'm going to increase on the left and the right. So I'm going to cut another 4 cords. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just doing it quickly. You can measure exactly if you want to follow the exact measurements. Okay. So to increase on the left, I'm just going to take one of my cords first. Again, hold it, fold it in half, make the 2 ends meet, loop, loop under, open out, pull the 2 cords through, and then just tighten it up. That's 1. And then I'm going to increase again on the left, exactly the same way. Open through the loop. Okay, so you can see how that's got wider there. Now I'm going to do exactly the same on the right hand side. So I've got another 2 cords that I cut, fold it in half, loop under, open it out, pull those through, and that's that one, that's that increase. Just going to make sure they're sitting nicely. And my last cord that I'm going to use, and open the loop out and through. Okay. Right, so we've done the increase now. Now, we're going to do the square knots in the centre. So I'm going to find all my cords. Again, make sure they're not overlapping. So I'm going to start off with my centre 4 cords to do 1 square knot. So do my L, over, under, up and through. Again, if you need a refresher, please go to the tutorial for beginners square knot tutorial. So that's 1. But then for the next row, I'm going to take the left hand 2 of that square knot we've just done, and then the 2 to the left, and then do my L, over, under, up and through. See, once you've done one of these, oh, you'll be making these in no time. They're so simple to make, but look, so effective. Okay, so that's that square knot. And again, if you bring that down, so you've got that border, and then I'm going to do another square knot on the right. So the 2 from the previous square knot and the next 2, over, under, up and through. And then P, over, under, up and through. Now, if you wanted to carry on and make your Christmas tree bigger, of course you can. You just need to add more cords either side and continue the pattern. So you'd have 3 square knots and so on. But for now, we're going to finish this tree off here. So once again, make sure that your cords are all lying nice and flat, not overlapping. I'm going to start off on the left-hand side. Doesn't matter which side you start, and just 1 cord at a time, over, you've got your smile, over, under, and then pull it tight. Now notice this time I'm holding the holding cord in the horizontal position because that's the way I want to go. That's the way my outline is going. Oh, look, again, careful because that's crossed over. Okay. And you're just going to carry on one cord at a time until you get to the middle. I've got a couple more to go. That one's crossed over. You see how I'm trying to just sort of like push them up to each other so they're looking similar size, so they're all nice and neat. Takes a bit of practice doing that. Right, so I've got to the centre. I'm going to leave that. Now I'm going to do the right. So over, under, through the smile. If this is one of the first tutorials you've seen, you'll get used to my little rhymes. But it helps everyone remember. Okay. Up, over, under, through the smile. Keep going until we get to the middle again. Okay, one more. And there we go. Right, so you can see now that we've got the outline of our tree and we've filled it in with some square knots. As I say, you can make it bigger if you want to. But now, to do our tree trunk, or our, you know, like the pot that you keep your Christmas tree in, we're just going to use the centre 4, and we're going to do just 2 or 3 square knots. So do your L and your P. Depends how many you want to, but what this does, it again, is it just sort of like holds it together in the middle and makes it look neater. There's one. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I keep knocking the camera, don't I? To put it on a more sturdy surface. And I'm going to do a second square knot, and as you can see, this is going to be the, you know, like the tree trunk, or the pot that the tree sits in. Okay, and there we go. Now, finishing off bits, I'm going to trim these cords, and I tend to trim them, these sides, in line with the length that I've done the pot. But it's entirely up to you. There's no rules, no right or wrong. I just tend to do it this way. And then these centre ones are going to be a bit longer. Get rid of those excess cords. And then all you're going to do is use your pet comb and just comb it out. Just brush it out. Okay, hold it as you're doing it though, so you don't get to pull the other cords. Okay, you'll be able to spend more time. I'm going to unpin that now. You'll be able to spend more time brushing it out nice and neatly. Once you have brushed it, you might need to give it another trim because it becomes a bit more uneven. Turn it over, give it a comb the other side. And there you have a simple macrame Christmas tree decoration. Okay, as I say, you can make them larger by increasing the amount of cords that you use. If you do need help with the pattern to make them larger, please just drop me a message in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please click subscribe. Click the notification bell. See, I'm just going to tidy these up here now. And if you want to, as I say, I've got these little lights, these little LED lights, which are great, especially for Christmas. And you can just feed these in and out of your tree. Okay, so you can just feed them, oh, there you go, as you wish, and have a lovely, lovely hanging decoration. These are really nice for little gifts as well, to give to families. You might want to do it instead of sending a Christmas card, you could send them a little handmade tree. Or you could even stick it on a Christmas card and send it as part of your Christmas card design. Right, well, as I say, I really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please leave a comment. And as I say, subscribe, and I will be uploading further Christmas tutorials over the next week or so. Happy Christmas crafting. Thank you. Bye.